What up, guys? Welcome to Base Damage. And this week on podcast number 70, we have back once again after, golly, it's been a while. It was like beginning of summer last year or something of that nature. We have the world champion of 2017, Riaz Mohammed. What's up, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. Everything's going good.
Hey, glad to have you back, man. I know I got you. The last time you were on was discussing your win at Dallas Regionals last year. So that was
That had to be around March or so, March of last year, between March and April, yeah.
Yeah, Dallas was in March. I think I had got you on in April, not summer, so I don't know what I was talking about. But yeah, last week we had gone over I had Bentley up there, getting his opinion and whatnot, Waifu Wars. Y'all check him out. And this week, definitely wanted to get the opinion from the finals table and all of that jazz. Dude, that was. I know people have opinions on that last match already, but we'll get to that in a bit. First off, how was Japan, dude? I am so jelly.
Well, Japan was nice. I didn't get to move around as much before the tournament, just because we had to be back at certain times. Bushiroad, to get our registration all done for Worlds, they made us come back in the nighttime to. They gave us dinner and stuff, but we had to. It was on a strict schedule for Saturday, because I flew in Friday night, and I left Monday, so there wasn't much time to sightsee. But Japan was great. Besides getting stranded in Japan through a snowstorm, it went fine.
Absolutely. I had seen people posting on Facebook. I think it was. I'm trying to remember who it was. I can't remember. Okay. Someone has said, "Damn, Riaz is so good at canceling. He got his fucking flight canceled too."
Oh yeah, that was Clinton Chan.
Yes. Oh, Clinton. Yes, you're right. Oh god, I've spaced on that, bro. But I saw that, was like, wait, what? And I know you were posting like, well, yeah, not coming back just yet. I know Bentley was posting up the same things. Like, I think this is God telling me to stay in Japan, but. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it if I wasn't stranded at the airport. If it was somewhere else, I would have been perfectly fine.
It's like, y'all just call me when the flight's good. I'm gonna go back over to Akihabara real quick. No.
Right. And then the sad, depressing part, it's Monday, and the next flight to Houston was Wednesday, so I had to find a place to stay.
Oh, damn.
And so, the irony of it is that you have to find a place to stay, but there's no transportation to the place, so it was a little bit depressing.
Oh, damn, dude. I'm sorry about that. I don't think I've ever flown internationally, like as far as like to another country at all. So I've never had to deal with that, but that is something. Admittedly, if I had to be stranded in a place like that, I wouldn't mind Japan as much. But someplace like France or something of that nature, I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck to do. But,
Yeah. If I had to strand in the country, I'd definitely love to be stranded in Japan if I had to choose.
Yeah. But hey, glad you made it back and all. And like I said earlier, congrats on getting first and all. It seems like AOT completely swept though. Like in general, like I know it was like the top 3, but like how many other AOT players were there? Do you know?
There were 10 AOT players, 8 SAO players, 3 to 4 Contai players, 2 Konosuba players, and 1 or 2 or a few Love Live Sunshine players. That's all I can remember. There might be more, but I definitely know the numbers of 10 AOT and 8 SAO.
Yeah, that's kind of what people were expecting, definitely seeing those. I remember hearing about the Sunshine. I did not even know Contai made an appearance, like, straight up.
Yeah, I didn't know until I watched Burn One's... they posted a video recently on the finals match, and he gave, like, one of the statistics that it was, like, 2 to 4 Contai players. We don't know the exact number, but it's around there. It's at least more than 2.
Okay.
I did see one of them. I didn't see the others though.
Okie doke. Well, actually, in talking about that, then, if you would just please run us through, like, your matchups before, like, leading up to the top cut. Like, how many rounds was it before top cut?
It was 5 rounds before Top Cut.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had around 32 people, so that's fine.
Okie doke.
Uh, my first round was against Love Live Sunshine. It was fun. Like, did you want me to like, go in detail or just like a quick rundown of each match?
Whatever you prefer, man. I guess at the same time, as far as like if you want to go into detail, by all means, cool. Let's see.
But
Because as far as like the matchups, as far as like before getting into that, out of all that you played, which did you feel was the toughest matchup? Was it the mirror match, or was it another set that was a tougher matchup?
the toughest matchup, I would say, is the mirror match. To be honest, it's you have to play it a lot differently than you play any other match that you have to see.
Mm-hmm. Understandable. Okay.
Yeah, like first round was Love Live Sunshine. Second round was Contai Abyssal Fleet.
Ooh.
Third round was Sword Art Online. Fourth round was AOT, and fifth round was Konosuba.
That's actually really cool as far as like the diversity there.
Yeah, I was one of the luckier AOT players that fought only one AOT before finals. Because my final matches were against AOT and AOT, like both the semifinal and the final.
So like mirror matches and all that are definitely a pain, regardless of the set. So
I enjoy the mirror matches though. That's me personally. I love mirror matches for the set. I think it's fun. It feels like a chess game.
That's cool. I guess that's a good way of looking at it. All right. So okay. So yeah, like that being really diverse and whatnot probably helped a decent bit. So, before Top Cut, did you win each of the games before Top Cut?
Yes.
Or? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I won all 5 of the games.
I know they said some people who got like who went X1. Did anyone who got X1 still get Top Cut, or was it just all undefeateds at that point?
No, we had 6. We only had 1 undefeated, which was me, and we had 6 X1s, because there were only 2 X1s that didn't make it, and it was UA Peng and I think his name is Connor. I don't know his last name, but his name is Connor. And they were the only X1s that didn't make it because they were 5th and 6th place.
Oh damn. Okay.
To be honest, in terms of tournament structure, they probably should have cut the top 8. That way, at least every X1 was in there, and then do it. But cutting the top 4 kind of left 2 people that could have been potentially world champion candidates out of the equation. So due to tiebreakers, so that's unfortunate.
They were probably looking at it like, well, UA won last year. It's cool. We can kick him out. No, I was trying to say, no, I got no problem with UA. He was interesting to hear his opinions on some stuff. So, so I don't think I'm certain that's not what they did. I'm just me making a joke.
It's because they announced it before the Worlds even finished. Like the dinner that they did not even dinner. Sorry, even in the email they sent us. They sent us some forums and stuff. One of them did say we will cut the top 4, so everyone knew it's going to happen. But it's still a little bit depressing.
That's understandable. As opposed to, I know there was controversy. Once again, I know people hating me say the word controversy over earlier in the year how the number of rounds were not equal to what it should have been for the number of people in each of the different regionals and whatnot. I know there's issues for that. So
yeah, there were issues in the spring, but I think by fall it all fixed out. Besides one place, I don't know the name. I think it's like Anaheim or something like that. I don't know the name of that area.
Sounds about right.
But it was that. I think there was an issue there. Like a lot of X1s didn't make it because I know. One of my, I guess, online friends, Miles, didn't make it. even though he was X1.
I was gonna say, if would it affect for a lot of that stuff if people drop, like just
Yes, like that was the biggest issue with UA is that one of his opponents dropped after like round 2 or 3.
mm-hmm,
So that's like his tiebreakers are just so bad because the way this is during Swiss,
mm-hmm.
people dropping just makes it worse. So if you beat someone that drops, like you actually can only guarantee your spot if you're just undefeated. Like you just have to go undefeated. Like,
Damn.
and that makes it kind of hard because you would think that even someone with just one loss has a good chance of making it in.
Mm-hmm.
But you just like mathematically knowing or like the facts just saying that you know that there's going to be two people that won't make it in
Okay.
is or two or more people that won't make it in kind of depressing because you just hope like you're not one of those people.
This is true. So that's something interesting to think about. Put it that way. All right. So. All right. So going to Top Cut, it was you, Christian. I do not remember Min.
Yeah, Min. Yeah, and I can't remember the guy that played Konosuba. I don't remember his name.
Oh, so Konosuba was fourth.
Yeah, because
Oh,
Min
cool.
Zhang was from Toronto, and Konosuba was fourth. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so did you play against Min or the Konosuba guy?
I played against Min in the final, in the semifinal round, or
All right.
I guess yeah, the top 4.
Yeah. All right. So that was another AOT mirror match. So, how did that go? Like, I know they only showed the finals, so I don't think they streamed anything else, right?
It was pretty tough. One disadvantage of the AOT mirror is generally who gets the Aaron combo off in multiples first has a significant advantage in terms of hand.
Absolutely.
So basically, it's like a dance, a funny dance between players using movement gears over and over to try to dodge, and whoever loses all their movement gears first is now susceptible to getting run over by Aaron.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Will then get the movement gears back. So what happened was I didn't have an issue finding Aaron's, but I could not get a single climax to my hand past the first initial wind I played. I tried to run over his cards. I believe he did move out of the way with movement gears.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up having to rely on Brainstorm and paying 3 Encore to keep up in damage in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very tough. But he at what the deciding factor was he was at 2-6 and I played my Mikasa and I burned 1, and he had 1 climax within 2 cards, so I had a 50% chance of him taking the 1 damage and sending all that damage back in. So that's ended up what happening.
Oh,
and he was still fairly compressed. He had around like 20 to 24 cards with 7 or 8 with 6 climaxes going back in.
Oh, that's good.
And what happened was I swung for 5 and he ate it up and died. Because he took the 2 burns, or he took the burn and refresh, and I believe that put him at 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
And then my next deck swung for 5 and he ate it, and it didn't get to my 3rd Mikasa attack.
Mm-hmm.
So
damn.
that was a little bit unfortunate, but I don't think I would have gotten that one if the burn didn't go through, because then that would have been a lot harder to well, at least I wouldn't have won that turn if I were to win, because I wouldn't have sent all that damage back in, and that made it a lot easier to stick 5, because sticking 5 is very hard to do.
Yeah, it can be a pain.
Yeah, it was a fun match. I mean, we we talked a lot after, and we went out and eat and stuff. Like, I mean, it was really good. I mean,
that's really awesome.
It was fun. At least for me, it's fun. Like I said, I love the mirror matches. Like, even like before Worlds, I spent 3 months just playing the mirror every day.
That is a good thing to do, especially with AOT, and at that point, even SAO players should be doing that against each other and whatnot. So,
well, SOA it's a little bit easier just because it's very solitaire-like when SOA fights SOA, because like basically one set of Yukis gets played, and then the rest of them gets wiped out by the next set of Yukis, and then it goes back and forth as a trading, and mainly the SOA player has to figure out how to just have better hand compression and better quality of cards going around than the other SAO player. So And then it also
Hmm.
comes down to builds, right? Just because I say Yuki, right? There could be standby SAO. There can be like
Hmm.
the 2K1 draw SAO. Like you don't know what type of SAO player you'll fight because SAO has so many decks.
Agreed. It seems AOT like still has a couple different like tech choices. It seems, but for the most part, it seems like AOT has a more solidified setup.
Right, just
So,
because
hmm,
there I mean it like the other combos in AOT are really good, but it
hmm,
just Aaron just outweighs. Aaron is
yeah.
just so much better in the mirror match because Aaron you don't have to waste a move gear on him. He bounces himself back to
Oh,
his hand.
Aaron's so good, dude. Oh
Yeah.
man, that's understandable. Well, regardless, shout outs to Min and shout outs to the Konosuba guy. Like that is really cool that they got that far and whatnot. Um, I kind of want to see the Konosuba guys build.
It
Um,
was I don't know the exact 50 card layout, but it
mhm,
was using the main layouts were runner plus the red brainstormer at level 0,
mhm,
and he also for level 1 he ran the union with the split 2K that's on attack check top 4, add one
mhm.
rest go to waiting room, and then he ran early play Wiz.
Oh,
He ran
cool.
no darkness. He didn't have any yellow, at least from what I remembered. But
Mhm.
I guess when the deck list comes up, we'll see. But I
Okay.
didn't see any yellow. And then his game ender was the with the stock soul rest the Meganum clock shoot, and then burn four or
Yeah.
burn four then clock shoot. That was his
Yeah.
finish.
I think that's the order. I think you're correct on that.
It's
Um,
burn four then it's clock shoot.
mhm,
Yeah.
okay. Um, Strange enough, that being one of the few clock shoots, I think one of two clock shoots now that target. It's like the only ones that actually target. Most
Yeah,
others
I
don't.
believe that in Persona 4
I think you're
uh,
correct.
has a level 3 that like targets level 2 or lower, I think, when it reverses a level 2
Mm-hmm.
or higher.
Mm-hmm.
Something like
Yeah, but it's one of the only ones that like the hexproof characters actually do not get touched by for those clock shoots, but others, Kaki Kai and whatnot, they do. Um,
yeah.
but either way.
What was funny is when I fought him in the on the 5th round, I was gonna summon my Armin out at level 2,
Mm-hmm.
but he ended up eating enough damage to go straight to 3. So then I couldn't protect my cards from the clock shoot.
Mm-hmm.
But burn 4 is just like Xenon, so it's a little bit easier to cancel than like
Mm-hmm.
burn 1 and 2 or so, you know. So
True. It also ends up being not as much damage coming at you as Xenon, because Xenon's like a whole level worth with her attack and everything. So,
yeah, I
um,
mean, as long as
so
you don't leave 3 targets, there's no way you die uh just from taking 1-4
this is true too. All right.
from 3-0.
Yeah. Um. So that is really cool. And before we get into the finals, because the finals were the only ones that were recorded, I know
Mm-hmm.
before we discussed this, we were talking about uh, the other games that they had posted. One thing I noticed on the top 8 mat did not actually have like any Weiss stuff. It had like other than like Shioko holding a Weiss card or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't actually have like any of the characters and whatnot. So it had like
I
the Vanguard and people and
I
whatnot. But
I think the I think I actually like that better in the sense like because Weiss has so many
mhm,
different animes. I think it's
true.
hard because it would look too favoritism. Like let's say they put AOT or they put Sal, it looks, or they even put Love Live, it might look too favoritism. So using the
Mhm.
mascot itself puts a like it's like we love all of Weiss. So
That is
using the
fair.
mascot itself, I think it represents the entire all the sets
Mhm.
at once.
That's
So.
fair. Um,
Uh, although I guess the same could be said to the other games, but there is no mascot for those games. Like Vanguard doesn't really have a mascot, like a mascot they
yeah.
made. So they couldn't have done it with those. So they decided to choose, I guess, the units that look cool
Hmm.
or um. They just choose what look cool. I mean, it looks like
Hmm.
people love dragons. Luck and Logic had the little anime girl with the
Hmm.
arrow shooting, so
Oh yeah,
uh,
they did have that.
it was interesting. Um,
Well, you can ask Kaiba. Everybody loves dragons, but that's whatever.
I love dragons.
um, which another thing, like you said, was Luck and Logic was still being played at this, and I thought that had completely died out. Like,
So yeah, it died out, but the thing is, they will announce that they will still have a world tournament. These are the only and final English Luck and Lock Luck and Logic players you will see. So basically, our top 3 Luck and Logic players are the first and last champions of Luck and Logic.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh at that, but damn.
Like it's still cool though. Like it's like
Yeah,
this like let me perform the best I can for the game while
like,
it's alive. So at least it's out there. But yeah, it's a little bit depressing. But unfortunately, Luck and Logic wasn't as famous in the U.S. as it was in Japan.
that's true. I mean, I guess they don't have to worry about the titles being taken from them anymore, but still, that's damn. Oh well, I guess that's just how it rolls.
I think Bushiroad have too many games under its belt. Like they should focus on a few,
Fair.
which they
Yeah.
are. I mean, you can obviously see that Buddy Fight, Vanguard, and Weiss are the main focus,
Hmm.
but they still own a lot of games. So
Yeah.
uh,
They're trying to push Dragoborn or yes, Dragoborn.
yeah, that at least from what I can tell is actually gonna look a lot worse than Luck and Logic in terms of the turnout. But that's just in my area and like
Mhm.
other areas. But I don't know. Maybe some other areas might uh, get more support for Dragoborn.
Mhm. I know we haven't seen like any of the starter decks or whatever. Like when I was at Atlanta Regionals, uh, one of the other guys actually, like, I think it was off a raffle or something like that. He won an extra deck and then he still bought one himself. So he gave me one. So I have a Dragoborn deck, but I have not opened it at all. Outside of like that, I don't think I've seen any Dragoborn products at any of the shops around in North Carolina. I could be wrong because I haven't been up to Game Theory in a hot minute. But for the most part, it doesn't seem like the card shops are really going, hey, let me grab that, from their distributors or whatever. That doesn't really seem like it's something they're going for. Um, I don't know. Could it just be me? Could just be North Carolina. I don't know. But either way, which they did a Dragoborn like stream match thing or something like that in the during their stream as well. Um, but I didn't really look at that. Now, getting into the stream because I actually waited for Bushi to like post the whole stream so I could see what all was going on, what all other stuff they announced. Godzilla is getting the fucking set. That's fucking great.
Yeah,
Um,
that's pretty funny. Godzilla. I didn't think I'd live the day to see Star Wars with Godzilla in Weiss. Like I know it's only JP, but
no.
it's still the fact is it's still in a Japanese card game.
Yeah.
And I mean I do know Godzilla. I think it was created in Japan, I believe,
I'm fairly
but
certain.
it's just weird seeing Godzilla in Star Wars in an anime card game.
I can accept Godzilla a bit more than I can Star Wars, but at the same time, it's whatever. But yeah,
Yeah, whatever. I mean, they're probably gonna make big money off of it anyway. So at least in
yeah.
Japan.
Shout outs to my buddy Moroku. He stayed up to watch a little bit of the stream and then found out about that, and he just told me he could not sleep the rest of the night. He is a avid Godzilla slash kaiju fan, as far as like
Ah,
all the different movies and whatnot. He was so hyped for that. He's like, I couldn't sleep the rest of the night. I was trying to think, what the fuck are they gonna do, man? And like I talked to him the next day, and I'm like, dude, are you okay? He's like, I haven't slept at all. I need more caffeine. But it was great. But let's see. Oh, one of the sets you and I were talking about, like, for when it comes to English, because me and Moroku have been looking at the new Bang Dream set, and that got pushed back. That actually surprises me because it's a Bushi product. They didn't have a problem with the first Bang Dream set, did they? Bringing it over to English? I don't.
see, they don't. I don't think they have. Okay, so this is my theory on it, right?
All right.
They own Bang Dream,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
I don't think they have a problem pushing it. I think they purposely they look. Okay, I'm not. This is not all fact. This is just my opinion.
Okay.
So this I think purposely they're delaying it so it doesn't enter trios. That's what I think the strategy here is.
Ooh.
Uh, uh, I now I don't see why they would do it, but I
I,
think maybe Bang Dream does have a huge impact with its insane finisher that can clear out any decks that basically any deck that's not SAO or AOT gets cleared out fairly easily by Bang Dream currently. Uh,
that's insane.
if you don't know, Bang Dream's one of his Bang Dream's main finishers that you could use is on reverse pay 3, ditch 2, burn 2, burn 2.
Yukina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yukina.
Yeah, yeah. I
So,
remember seeing that.
and they can also use a back row that they can tap 2 cards and choose one of their own cards, and your opponent cannot drop events or backups. So this gets around Till of Ruin,
Oh, yeah.
AOT's hexproof. So they're gonna guarantee you get 1, and burn 2 on just 1 card alone is
Yeah.
pretty deadly.
Hey,
So
can't movement gear this bitch. Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
damn.
you can only prevent 2. Like, well, realistically, you're only gonna get 2 off. But if you have the resources for 3, we'll talk in a perfect world.
Yeah.
You're still getting hit by one of them.
Yeah.
And since they choose their own character, it's that entire lane that's locked out. So even if you swap with Mikasa, or you somehow move out of the way and change another card, it doesn't matter because they're targeting their own character.
Okay.
The set does have the what we like to call the Musashi effect, where
Mm-hmm.
you like Kontai's Musashi. So
Mm-hmm.
like they effectively have a solid level 3 game plan for like, let's say, Attack on Titan that can move multiple characters out of the way. They basically swing for 3, burn 2, burn 2, then swing Musashi, so that's still pretty deadly. That's
Yeah,
still pretty
Even
insane.
That's
Uh
damn.
Luckily Bang Dream does not have its promos to use the better level 1 combo, the red one.
Uh-huh.
In Japanese there's a promo, 0-0.
Mhm.
Ditch 2 cards from your hand and you search the level 1 combo in the event the level 1 combo is supposed to salvage. We actually do not have that card in English yet. So that's a little bit depressing, but yeah. I don't see, because I still think AOT and SAO are equipped enough to handle Bang Dream.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see the reason why. But that's what I think. The other reason they could possibly want to delay it is because they wanted to maybe push something else. But
Possibly.
because maybe they can always push Bang Dream, so let's try to push something else. But we have gotten no announcement to pushing anything else outside of Persona 5. Like,
Yeah.
an exact date. I don't know if Love Live Sunshine has got an exact date. It might got it by now. I haven't actually paid attention.
Likewise, I don't know off the top of my head at the
And
time of
we
this
know-
recording.
And we know Gurren Lagann is getting
It's in
released
summer.
in the summer.
Yeah.
So my trios is in July, which I think mine's one of the later trios. But the fact is, Bang Dream gets released the month after my trio, so
Mhm.
if there's any trios going around in July, they get to use Bang Dream. But for almost the entirety of this year, the Bang Dream will not show an appearance till the fall season.
Damn. Okay.
That's my theory on it. That's my theory. They just didn't want it in the trios.
That is a solid theory, though. I had not considered that at all. Like, that's reasonable to believe. Like you said before, I don't think there's... because it is owned by them, I could not feasibly think of anything whatsoever. I'm just like, what's up? So, no, that's a legit good theory. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's something to take into consideration as well. Admittedly, I know I was looking at it and going, okay, cool, I can already kind of plan for this, but this lets me save up a bit more for it. So, yeah. Okay. That's our thoughts on that then. So, getting into discussing the finals match, which you sent me the link for your deck, and I'm going to post that. It's for wsdecks.com. I'm going to post that in the description so people can see that if they want. Which I'm going to try. Like I said, I'll before we started recording, I'm also going to try to do like a video like I do for the Road Deck reviews and try to post up so people can still see the cards and be like, okay, here's what these do, our opinions and all on it and whatnot. Which, I mean, you still give your explanation and whatnot as well, but that's whatever.
Okay.
So the finals match has been something thoroughly talked about. So
Yeah,
I have
a lot of other channels have done their own commentary on it too.
Because that was one of the things we mentioned before, or we were talking about before, where it seems everybody just kind of muted the Bushiroad commentators and just is like, they don't really know what's going on. Hashtag Red Armin, just saying.
Yeah, they said that one of my Krista was a red Armin. Maybe from far away, since they're looking from a camera, she has the similar hair of Armin. But anyone who knows the actual set knows that there is no red Armin that
Yeah.
has an effect like that.
Agreed.
In fact, I don't even know if there is a red Armin. I don't think there is, but there might be. But I think he's just purely yellow.
If anybody else knows, just throw it in the comments and let us know. They'll let us know anyway. You know how it is. It's your fucking YouTube. I have questions pertaining to it, mostly because I did mute it and I didn't really listen to anybody else's commentaries. Like I know some other channels have posted it up, and I just haven't watched those videos. So I have a couple questions for it as well. I have 2 complaints.
All right.
And this is not actually pertaining to like decisions that were made in the match. I actually have questions to certain decisions and whatnot and stuff that had gone on in the match. One, why was Christian wearing a shirt with a picture of himself on there?
all right. If you ever do an interview,
this is mostly
him,
a joke, but this is whatever.
You could ask him, but what I gathered from it is he didn't have our Strictly Broken T-shirt, and the only shirt he had that was affiliated with Strictly Broken was a T-shirt of himself. So
that's
a shout out. We are not bullying him. We're not bullying him.
No, I have no problem with him. Like I know some other people have said differently, but I personally have no problem with him. I just noticed that and I was like, what the fuck?
That is the reason I gathered. But I think when we asked him,
okay, that's fair.
You can always ask him, or anyone else can ask him for the real reason. If this reason is not the actual reason. Okay. But yeah, that's what I gathered.
Okay, that's cool.
I don't know if you know, but Christian Yarbarker and myself are being sponsored by Strictly Broken TCG.
Which I thought that was actually cool. When I noticed that that's what the shirt you were wearing when they did like the ceremonies and whatnot, I was like, oh shit, that is Strictly Broken. Okay, cool.
So that's that's that. So I was wearing mine, but he didn't have his, so he wore the Christian Yarbarker shirt.
Hey, it works. I just noticed that and I was like, hold up. But okay, cool. The only other complaint I have, and I think I only saw you do this once, but I noticed at one point you had to like riffle shuffle to shuffle the deck really good, like where you take the deck and just go and like.
So
like you ever see like poker dealers?
Sleeves was really terrible. Like those sleeves are so bad. Me riffling has nothing to do with those sleeves being bad. I actually am a person who always riffle shuffles my deck. I single sleeve and riffle because that I believe that's just my way of shuffling. But yes, no, a lot of people had trouble shuffling their sleeves because if they try to shuffle it like we call mash shuffle, or
where you're going from the side or whatever.
Right.
It looks like
the edges hit each other and you can actually damage it, and then you might be called out for marking, or you might like the sleeve might split, and we only have a limited number of sleeves, so they made us all as contestants change into these sleeves that were, in my opinion, so bad quality that even the $10 or $15 Bushiroad sleeves they sell, like with Railgun or like Little Busters or whatever other anime characters have, were like 10 times better than the sleeves they give us.
Damn. Okay.
Like it was terrible. And like the biggest issue is like people like UA or like other people that have max rarity decks. Like I wouldn't even feel comfortable having a max. I have a completely low rarity deck compared except for the one Mikasa. Yeah. But people with max rarity deck, they don't want to like. It doesn't have that protection on just a single measly sleeve that's not even that sturdy. So a lot of people didn't like that. You could have put it inside a smaller sleeve and then put it inside the Weiss sleeve that they gave us, but the Weiss sleeve must be the outer sleeves. But then the cards get so thick that it's difficult, a lot harder to
shuffle a deck that's like, unless you have very big hands, it's really difficult. Yeah.
So that was the depressing part, because I remember last year at Worlds, they did not force us to. Well, not I wasn't there, but they didn't force like Clinton or whoever else was there at UA to have these special sleeves. Now, if these sleeves were like really high quality, I actually would not have mine.
Yeah. But no, that was one thing Bentley said like in podcast last week. That was, which I've seen that done at Yu-Gi-Oh! Nationals or regionals and stuff like that. When you go to the top cut or whatever, they're like, yes, please put these in these sleeves, so we know everyone has the same type of sleeves. Nobody can complain about them whatsoever, type thing. I understand that, and that's totally cool. But if they're passing them out that low quality, that's a bummer.
I know Christian talked to one of the Bushiroad representatives about it, so I don't know if they'll do anything next year for it or this coming for 2019. But which I find it's funny, right? Because this was you got to Worlds by entering tournaments in 2017, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're technically the world champion for
In January.
2018,
Yeah.
right? So I find it funny, but I guess it's fine. Like how they do it.
Yeah.
I think it's fine though. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's just funny how 2017 tournaments decide which champion is 2018's champion.
That's
When
fair.
when they don't even fight in 2018, right?
Yeah.
But
It's like, the fuck? Come on.
it's it's interesting. But yeah, I there's nothing wrong with it. I just
Yeah.
thought it was funny when I thought about it.
Yeah, I just noticed, like I said, I just noticed the riffle shuffling thing, and I was like, "Ah, dude."
Oh yeah, a lot of
But,
people
yeah.
cringe when I riffle shuffle, but I just do it. The cards understand, right? They understand they need to win, right?
It's like, look, I really need you to win this game, and it's just no.
This goes like this is actually like I guess a small tip with people
Hmm.
and shuffling stuff. I don't the whole point of shuffling is to randomize your deck.
Hmm.
I firmly believe I have a consistent way I shuffle. Like I shuffle the same way 100% of the time in tournament matches
Hmm.
because I don't want there to be an excuse of well I didn't shuffle properly. So if you stay with a certain method, you keep your variables constant, and the only changing variables is the deck, then
Okay.
you should have like no complaints about shuffling.
That's fair.
Because I remember back when I just started playing Weiss, I used to make the excuse of I would have canceled if I shuffled better, and I actually think that's not even like after playing Weiss for so many years, that's actually like a terrible reason, and that reason shouldn't even exist. Like it doesn't make any sense. But
Okay.
yeah, that's why I riffle shuffle. That's
Okay.
the story behind that.
That's cool. I used to see people do it. Like, it still wasn't as bad as I've seen people do with, like, MTG back in the day. Like, I've seen people with MTG decks do it like poker dealer style.
Oh, where
And
they're
I'm
like,
like, oh, God,
flick,
no.
flip it back up, and it makes like the little bridge, and it comes back down.
Near about. Like
Yeah.
one step away from that. But, yeah. So, like, I noticed you only did it from the corner, so it wasn't as bad, but that's just me just kind of making a BS complaint there. I did have two other questions though. And that was, let's see, I'll go with the one that looked a little more controversial because we couldn't hear sound on y'all's on y'all's end. It was just the commentators, and it's just like, well, I don't know what's being said for this, but I'm guessing Christian said something about this. There was one point where he had activated the maneuver gear. And I just wanted to know from you being at the table if he said anything about moving the character, because on video he did the search, discarded, took the damage, and then he moved his character.
So basically,
I didn't know if he just said,
that
"Hey, I'm
caught a
moving
lot
this."
of people's attention because they're saying that he missed the time
Yeah,
to do it,
which is true.
which he forgot to move his character.
Mm-hmm. So
The thing is, you don't have to move your character because it says choose up to one. So you can,
Yeah.
if you don't move, you can choose 0 and you can't move.
yeah, it's completely optional.
Me personally, I let it go through just because I knew for a fact that he's playing 2 move out of the way.
Mhm.
So I just let it go through. I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I said I'm not I don't use rules to try to win games. I
Which,
already know
yeah.
for a fact that he was going to move,
Mhm.
so I let it go through. There was no point in stopping it
Yeah,
through rulings.
like
But yes,
yeah, like if he
did take the damage first, yes.
yeah, like if he had stated like, hey, look, with all these cards, I'm just having to go ahead and shuffle and do all this stuff. I'm just going to state like I'm moving this or something. If he had said that openly, I would have been totally cool with that. That's whatever. But at the same time, yeah, that's what you do for that. It's like, hey, you know what his intention was behind it. That's cool. I just noticed that, and I was like, yeah, he kind of missed that. I don't know if there was a reason behind that. So that's understandable. That's cool. I wanted to get input on that. Let's see. The other thing that I noticed, and I may have just missed this altogether, but I want to say it was one time you had played the level 1 Armin. That's the top check.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I just didn't notice this, but it did not look like you added anything off this one Armin. I noticed you discarded a climax for his effect.
Yes.
Did
It's because the Armin reveal 3 red cards, so Armin could only grab yellow and move gear.
I thought he could grab core. I'm so sorry. I misunderstood that then.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, he would be played in every deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, because my deck was 7 cards, and it was 4 yellow and 3 red. So when I played the Armin and it revealed the 3 out of the 3 red in my deck, I was a little bit depressed, but I was like, okay, well, it's fine, because what I was gonna do is, because Christian had a full board, so I was gonna use my Aaron level 1 combo. But my hand was so low that I had to make the choice: do I ditch my level 3 endgame, or do I ditch the climax? So yeah, I ditched the climax, and yes, that's why I didn't add anything, because it was unable to add anything.
Okay, that's my fault. I misunderstood that. I knew it could grab the movement gear, but I thought it was like core or the movement gear. That's my fault for not understanding the.
You're good. You're good.
So, my fault. You know, Billy's wrong about something. He's been wrong on a podcast before. So,
what do you call it? The commentators didn't know that either, because I think they were trying to figure out why I didn't add anything either.
Okay. Well, at least I wasn't the only one, so that's whatever. But hey, that's RTFC. Moral of the day, right? But okay, that's cool. Outside of those questions, I really didn't have any other things about that. Otherwise, let's see. Like, definitely God tier cancels on your end, my dude. that was some crazy stuff.
I had 6 climaxes and 21 cards after I had to watch the entire video to count, because I was actually curious. I actually don't know what kind of a calculator or mathematical the equations you have to use to actually count my survival, but I believe Christian was like actually favored to win that turn. But yeah, that was one play I messed up on. I should have crashed one of my cards, so that is because I had something less to run over. But I basically offered up 3 cards to him, so he had full, burn 1, swing 2, burn 1, burn 1, swing 2, burn 1, burn 1, swing 2, burn 1.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy.
But yeah, I was just expecting to say, okay, well, the only way I survive is if I cancel all the main attacks. So I was like, okay, well, let's hope that happens. And I mean, I definitely had enough climax to do it. It's just that was my compression good enough for it? But 6 and 21 is like, I think, average level compression, or like, it's good, but I don't know if it's actually good enough to survive that. But yeah, I did survive.
Yeah.
When we what's gonna happen later is I'm probably going to do a video commentary over it, just so people can me and Christian might do a video commentary over it, so people can know what was going through both of our heads while we were playing it.
Absolutely.
So while we're tunneling in and like actually doing this, the third party people outside could probably see things that were harder for us to see, because we're like actually in the match and trying to do it. So there might be a few things that we might have not seen while the game was going on that everyone else, that was clear, because they're looking from a spectator point of view. So yeah, we'll probably be doing that. If we do it, it'll be on Strictly Broken TCG's
awesome
video page. But yeah, that's what we're probably gonna do, so that people have an idea of what's going on.
I definitely want to check that out when y'all do that, so please let me know when that goes down. I definitely want to watch that.
Because there were a lot of things I wanted to say about, because people weren't understanding some of my plays, and so forth. So, but I think it's pointless for me to say it here, or at least for the most part, go through each one. So, well, no, I'm just saying, like, the video is not playing, and it's kind of harder for people to like.
Fair.
Look, like, so that's why when we have the actual video playing and we're talking, it's a lot easier. But yeah, no, it was fun. It was a fun finals match. Christian got his combo off. I took a gamble. When I moved my 2 Armins out of the way, I was hoping that he only had 1 move gear. He had 2, so he was able to dodge my errand. So
yeah.
The entire day, I did not get my level 1 combo off against any other AOT player besides the 4th round AOT player I fought Christian actually in the 4th round as well.
Oh, cool.
So I actually got triple Aaron off that turn.
Oh, damn.
So what happened on this game was kind of the opposite. Like, he was in my position and I was in his position now in this game, because he got triple Aaron off. Well, he tried to get triple Aaron off on me in the finals. So it was just our roles reversed now. I was on the defensive end, and he was on the offensive end. While he was on defensive, and I was on offensive, offensive in the Swiss. So yeah, it was fun, very enjoyable. It was fun because it's my first time going to Worlds, because I didn't I didn't qualify the previous 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
or I think 3 years.
Yeah, I think you
But
said this was your. I think when we did the podcast back early last year, you said this would be your first time going.
yeah, this is my
So.
first time going just because I started like competing hardcore Weiss in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I obviously didn't try to like attempt to actually get good at the game.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing like Silica waifu decks and stuff like that back when I first started.
Hey, no shame there, dude. It's all good. Um, which that'll be. I do definitely want to hear y'all's thoughts about the video and everything, cause or the that whole match, cause people don't really understand like when they show a lot of that spectator stuff or like the overhead views, or even for like example being Yu-Gi-Oh! Nationals once again going back to this, or Worlds for Yu-Gi-Oh! They show what cards are in both players' hands. So sure, the spectator has all of the information there of what's going on. The other person, the players don't know what's all in the hand unless they've, I don't know, done the a card to look at your opponent's hand or something of that nature. There's very few cards in Weiss that do that. So
Yeah.
it's not a oh god, it's a black card from MTG. I can't remember it now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't think of it, but it's not like from spectators like, oh, dude, why didn't he do this? But that's because they have all the information. They're not there trying to guess. Well, I wonder how many movement gears he has in his hand, type thing. You know, it's like you said, you got to take a gamble on some stuff because you don't know that information just yet. So.
Yeah, the other reason is the longer time I give Christian, like the more times he play this dance at level 1,
Mm-hmm.
the more chances that he has to gather more move gears in his hand. So at some point, turtling it out is actually worse for the player that drew better than the other player. So that's why sometimes you have to take a gamble at in an attempt to hope that they don't have answers to you, because the longer you wait, the more the higher chance of them actually having answers for you.
Exactly. So that's fair. But yeah, what other thoughts or opinions you have on the match outside of obviously commentating on the match itself? What other opinions do you have as far as like how was the match and all that? So.
I mean, the match was fine. I mean, to me, it was just another regular AOT mirror because, like I've been saying, I've been playing the mirror for like over 2 months because we have a lot of AOT players down here in Houston, so I was able to practice with them. Because I believe that the 2 matches you had to know the most was AOT versus AOT, Sao versus Sao, and AOT versus Sao.
Yeah.
Those, because AOT is so powerful that any deck that's not Sao or AOT has a significantly low chance of winning against it.
Damn.
That's like, I mean, I'm not gonna say that's a fact. I'm not gonna say that's a fact, but that's just my highly educated opinion on that, because AOT is that strong. Love Live Sunshine may be able to compete because they have bombs, but generally they can't. So yeah, currently those are the 3 matches that you have to know the most, and the hardest one out of those are AOT versus AOT because there's just so many things going on for the match, and you play differently. Like things that seem like maybe bad, generally bad plays, automatically become good plays all of a sudden. So yeah, that's to me it was just another fun match against another skilled AOT player.
Awesome, dude. I'm really glad you had a good time with that, and I know after doing like all of that in one day can definitely be like mentally taxing. So I know all 3 of y'all just looked tired as fuck when they were doing the awards ceremony.
When I was doing the awards, I sort of like my brain turned off. So like, it was funny because the first question he asked how I felt, and I just said normal person. Right? Like I just said normal person, and then of course that's not much to work with, so he tried to make his own interpretation. He was like, "Oh, so are you saying a normal person could win at Weiss Schwarz?" I was like, "Well, that's not really what I said, but
Not really.
Then I was like, "Well, I'm already in this rabbit hole, so might as well continue." And I was like, "Yeah, if you work very hard." And then he was like, "Oh, so hard work and dedication will never betray you." I was like, "Yeah, that's true. That's true. We'll go with that. I already digged my hole already."
Yeah.
So I might as well, not make it a terrible hole.
No, that was funny. You could tell he was definitely one of those like you can tell he's done it before, as far as like being an announcer or having to do that type of public speaking before, because he was just rolling with it. So that was really cool. But yeah, I understand from doing like regionals and whatnot that it just, after so many games, just over and over of just, especially like, I know you said this was like one of your biggest goals was getting to that, so I can understand the tension, even though you're like, okay, I'll just keep calm about this and try to make the best decisions I can, but it's still going to be that pressure there. And once that pressure fades, it's just like, oh wow, hold on, I got to sit down for a second, type thing.
Yeah. I was just dead tired. I actually just wanted to go back to the hotel, take a shower, and go to sleep.
Oh, jet lag too.
That's not what actually happened. But yeah. That's yeah, because then when we did the interview, I was just giving one word answers. So I regret that I didn't like shout out saying stuff like, "Oh, I want this set in English" and stuff. But I was just so tired.
I know Christian did. I can't remember what set he said though. Like when it was all three of y'all on stage.
Melty Blood power up set.
Oh, Melty. Okay.
Yeah, he decided to say Melty Blood power up set.
So that's cool. I understand though. Like I've been in that position before. Not like World's position, but as far as just having done that so many card games in a row. So it's all good.
And unlike other people, I just ate a slice of bread and some tuna, some macaroni salad they had at the hotel for for breakfast, like 8 a.m. 7 a.m. in the morning, and that's all I had for the entire day. So I was like hungry and thirsty, so I was like dying.
Damn, dude. So, that's just like multiple areas all just trying to collapse in on you at one time. Damn.
I didn't even feel it though until after it was over though. So that was at least something. Maybe I was just running on maybe I was just running on adrenaline the entire time. Who knows?
Possibly. Like in those situations, it would not surprise me. So, but that's really awesome, dude. Definitely when y'all do the commentary video going over the match, please let me know, because I definitely want to watch that.
Yeah, I'll link you if you ever get it. The issue with all three of us that we just have different time zones we live in, so
yeah,
it's so hard to gather all of us in one place.
Absolutely. True, because him being like up in I don't remember which time zone Toronto is.
UA is in Canada, so he's in Vancouver.
Yeah, that's on like the
Christian
Cali side.
Yeah, and then Christian is from Austria.
Oh shit! Oh.
And of course I'm from the U.S. So
yeah, so
that's three different time zones.
Someone's getting up at like 1 a.m, right? Basically.
I mean, there are times when like I'm up, on Skype with some of them. Like for me it's like 5 a.m, but for them it's like I think they're like just getting home for lunch or something. Something ridiculous like that. But yeah, no.
Awesome.
That's that.
Any other closing statements or shout outs you want to throw out, bro?
Yeah. Shout out to Strictly Broken TCG. Buy your cards from there. Right stuff for the right price. Yeah, talk to UA Peng. Also shout outs to like all the content creators of Weiss Schwarz, like Top Tier Tears, Boats Don't Sink, Base Damage. Since you guys are on here, I might as well shout you guys out. Climax Phase, Stock Soul, Pay 2 Hanyo, like just everyone that does like Weiss videos. I think it's very important to have this so that it keeps growing. Like no one, don't even be afraid if your like content's bad or people think it's bad. Just keep doing what you guys are doing, and you'll eventually get better. And it just helps the community just to have content out there.
Absolutely, that's what we want. I think regardless of what people's opinions on videos or deck list and all that stuff, everyone has the same opinion if they care about this game as they want it to grow, and that's the important thing. So,
right,
true.
Yeah, those are my shoutouts to everyone. I mean, I guess shoutouts to everyone that helped me prepare for Worlds in different countries.
Absolutely. So, that is gonna be it for today. Then, thank you very much, dude, for being on. Apologize for the weird timing of it and everything, but I'm glad we were able to set up everything. hopefully try to get you back in on another one soon. Not just every time you win something major, but either way. I mean, even when you do, that's all good. But if you ever think of anything else you ever want to be in on, dude, just let me know. And with that, we will sign off for now. Once again, big thanks to Riaz. Big thanks to everyone listening so far. Please subscribe if you want. If not, hey, just thanks for listening to us rant about card games for almost an hour here. With that, we will see y'all on the flip side. Peace.